Maya Angelou said, in diversity, there is beauty and strength. Hi, y'all. Thanks so much for joining me. In less than 15 minutes, I'll be sharing with you what diversity means for your business. Please like and share this video if you get value from it. And I'm Dr. P. I'm a strategic business coach, and this morning, I gave a presentation at the Omicron Delta Kappa National Leadership Conference, and I presented to college and graduate students and also lifetime ODK members on using your diversity to promote equitable practices in college and beyond. And the reason why I chose that topic, and by the way, it was done virtually, and the reason why I chose that topic is because we have so many different elements of diversity, and oftentimes we don't realize what diversity we do bring to the table. And having worked in 4 different states, 3 different countries, I'm interacting with all types of people from all different kinds of backgrounds. I have learned that there is so much diversity in each of us, and we tend to not realize the diversity that we bring to the table, the diversity we bring into organizations. I'm talking about the diversity you're bringing actually into the business that you've created, and the diversity you want to bring with your teams. Because it boils down to, what do you think diversity means? I'm sure you've probably heard about diversity and that, hey, in businesses that have diverse teams, that's more beneficial for them. They make more money, but you might not really understand what it actually means to have that diverse team. And that's part of one reasons why I decided today I wanted to talk about diversity in your team. Because when we have that diversity, it can take our businesses, our organizations to levels that we did not think about. And again, diversity, like many things in life, have different meanings to different individuals. So, like I mentioned about my experiences and working in different states and different countries, for some organizations, I've realized diversity for them means hiring, and I'm going to list a pretty long list of all these different categories, right? So for some organizations, diversity means hiring women or hiring more women, hiring individuals of color, hiring individuals from different races, ethnicities, or cultures. It might also mean hiring older individuals or hiring younger individuals, hiring individuals who have a certain skill set, or people who speak multiple languages, individuals with or without disabilities, hiring people from different states or even different countries or different parts of the same state where you're currently operating. And it even means, for some organizations, different personalities. Have you ever done a personality test? Before you even became a business coach, before you even became a business owner, right? Or you might be a business coach, I don't know. But before you became a business owner, you probably worked in an organization where at some point in time you did a personality test. And it was part of seeing, how you interact with the different members of your department. And when you're looking at completing those tests, right, they came up with the blue, yellow, green, orange personalities, and they tell you about, hey, that's your personality type, if you're blue, if you're orange, if you're yellow, if you're green, and what that really means for when you're interacting with others in the workplace. And it's a similar thing when you, as a business owner, you're starting your own business. Knowing the personality you're bringing to the table can help you with identifying the personalities you need to attract so you can have that diverse team. So from that long list that I just shared with you guys about the different types of diversity, you can see there are different parts to diversity. And it's not just one part. There are multiple layers to diversity. For me, I've worked in organizations where there were more than 4 different ethnicities represented in the staff, different sexual orientations, various religious backgrounds, different ages, more than 5 different languages being spoken by the staff members, various branches of the military, different regions of the U.S., different countries, and even members of different kinds of fraternities and sororities. And why I bring that up is because they all brought something to the table that was different. And with that came what you refer to as some deep culture elements, with how they have their values, their belief system, and how those things go into how they problem solve, how they do decision making, their perception of fairness. When you interact with others from different walks of life, you get to learn a little bit about what makes them who they are. And it is when you have that diversity present that you get better at working together as a team, right? So along the way, I have learned that value in understanding my diversity as well as the diversity that others bring to the table. And I've learned that it's important not just to look at what makes us different, but also what makes us similar. You'll be surprised when you sit and you actually have a conversation. And I was mentioning this to the college students earlier this morning in that presentation with ODK, their national conference. I was mentioning the fact that when you have that conversation with individuals from different backgrounds to yours, you might end up learning things you never even thought about. Or they might challenge a certain stereotype or bias that you've held for that particular group. So there are benefits in interacting with others. And even when you're looking at hiring team members, just understanding the differences that they bring to the table and how they're going to add that diversity. So really and truly, through understanding diversity, begin to be aware of diversity in others, and it also helps us to build our cultural competence. And that cultural competence is necessary when we're looking at building diverse teams. We have to have that cultural competence, and it's not that it happens overnight. You have to do your part to even understand your own underlying biases and stereotypes, your own self-concept, how you problem solve, your decision making, your concepts of fairness. You have to understand those things for yourself before you can start understanding it in others. So that's a big part of when you're hiring that diverse team. What does diversity mean for you? And the Workable actually has a definition for diversity. I'm going to share it with you because I don't want to mess it up. They define diversity as referring to the existence of variations of different characteristics in a group of people. These characteristics could be everything that makes us unique, such as our cognitive skills and personality traits, along with the things that shape our identity, such as race, age, gender, religion, sexual orientation, cultural background. And with my background in education and psychology, I really agree with how Workable defined diversity, because they did not just look at it as one element. There are various elements to diversity. Like I mentioned at the beginning, that long list in terms of what organizations might be viewing as diversity. That's it. It's multiple things that go into diversity. And I even mentioned it this morning in that presentation I did with Alpha Crown Delta Kappa, and that diversity doesn't just mean what you see in others. It's not just what you can see. There's so much more to diversity than that. But yes, race and gender are two of the first things that come to people's mind when they hear the word diversity. But they're not the only elements of diversity. So if you're really looking to hire a team or expand your team, and you're looking to have those diverse elements present in your team, I do recommend that you speak with an HR specialist so that you can learn more about the protected diverse characteristics, because there are some that are protected, right? So when you work with the HR specialist, they can help you navigate those federal employment requirements. And I'm talking about things related to race, age, gender, and sexual orientation. So definitely make sure you work with an HR specialist if you're going down that line of starting to hire a team, or you're looking at expanding your team. You want to make sure that you're capturing all of the federal and legal requirements you're supposed to be capturing, as well as you are genuinely wanting to have a diverse team. And to help you understand what I mean with that, with the employment, think about the first time that you applied for a job, or before you became your own business owner, small business owner. You may have applied for a job, and at the end of that application, you may have seen something that talked about an equal employment opportunity statement. Did you ever really read them, or you just checked the box? Because if you read them, you'll see that in those statements, they do talk about those protected diversity characteristics. So that might be something that you should be considering when you're looking at putting your applications out there for individuals so that they can be aware of the fact that you are an equal employment opportunity employer. And that can attract the type of staff that you need for your business, right? So that can make people who are diverse, they're thinking they're diverse, that they might be applying for those positions, right? It really does make a difference when you see that. So within the workplace, other characteristics of diversity, besides those that I mentioned, right, at the beginning of this video, you're talking about skills. You're talking about talents, experiences, the personalities, and even opinions. Because think about this. Do you want to have a team that is made up of people who think the same way that you think? Seriously, think about that. Do you really want a team that's made up of the same people who think the same way as you, that have that same personality? Remember I mentioned that that yellow, green, orange, and blue, those personalities? Do you want to have a team comprised of only blue personalities, yellow personalities, green personalities, orange personalities? And if you're not familiar with the different colors I'm talking about, you can do a little bit of research online to find out why knowing these different personalities is important for your business. Because some people are very much so critical and logistical thinkers. Then you have the ones who can make those lists and kind of get caught up into making up the list. Then you have individuals who make their decisions based on their emotions, not based on logic, not based on the list, but based on their emotions. So really and truly, do you want to have the same type of people on your team, or do you want to have a diverse team? Because a diverse team can help you when it comes to problem solving. Because if all of you have the same way of thinking, have the same opinions, think about the damage that's going to make to your ability to solve the problems that your business is encountering. Really think about that. And also think about having the same personalities in your team members. Think about how that is going to hurt your value proposition for your business, stop you from growing your business, and even lead to missed opportunities for your business. All because you have team members that are comprised of the same type of thinking, the same opinions, the same personality, the same types of backgrounds, right? Now think about the value that you can bring to your brand when you have a diverse team. Because there is some value in having a diverse team. There's tons of value in having a diverse team. And a lot of it helps you with that problem solving. Because when you have different perspectives and you're doing that brainstorming, you're doing that collaboration, you'll be surprised at the positive outcome that you have, what you guys are able to design and develop as a team because you're coming in with diverse perspectives and opinions. And that's going to be by far better and take your business further than when you just have the same type of thinking, the same kind of backgrounds on your team. Because honestly, that's something why people go and hire consultants anyways, because they don't have, a different way of thinking currently going on in their organization. They need that outside consultant to come in and give that outside perspective to help kind of stir up what they're doing so that they can have diverse ways of responding to their problems. I mean, just think about it. And as an equal employment opportunity employer, it means that the diversity of your business is reflecting the diversity of the society, right? So you do have to look at what's happening in your community, look at your diversity in your community and see if you're reflecting that same diversity in your team members that you're bringing on board. So to wrap up here, I want to share with you 4 out of the 8 Me Fashion World. Hi, thank you so much for joining me. Just talking about diversity among our teams and, what that diversity looks like. And I want to share 4 out of the 8 benefits from a Forbes magazine article about the benefits of having a diverse team. You can always read the Forbes article yourself to get the other 4. So the 4 I want to share is when you have a diverse team, and I kind of mentioned these ones before, you have greater innovation and creativity when you have a diverse team. When you have a diverse team, you get higher revenues. That's number 2. You have increased productivity That's number 3, when you have a diverse team. And you understand your customers better when you have a diverse team. Those are 4 out of the 8. You can read the article for the other 4. But hold on, before I go though, I do want to share something that is very crucial. Having a diverse team does not automatically mean that you are engaging in equitable and inclusive practices with your team. Having a diverse team is the start, and it shouldn't just be your diverse on paper. Having a diverse team. Hey Timothy, thanks for joining me and just wrapping up this topic about having a diverse team. I mentioned 4 out of 8 benefits I got from a Forbes magazine. And Timothy representing from Vision Writers USA. So, hey Timothy. So just mentioning that having a diverse team alone does not mean that your organization is engaging in equitable and inclusive practices. You can have a diverse team, but you still have to put in the work so that you can have those equitable and inclusive practices for your team, so you can get that increased productivity, so you can see that higher revenue, so they can feel involved and you can benefit from the creativity and innovation of having a diverse team. Because remember, diversity is not just what we see, it is everything else that we all bring to the table. So thank you so very much for joining me. Really appreciate your support. I'm Dr. Priscilla Kucer with Priscilla Kucer Consulting Solutions. And remember, solutions plus actions equals results. Bye, y'all.